prior warning silent treatment. The creation of anxiety and uncertainty are twin concerns which we engender in much of what we do. They enable us to assert control over you and draw fuel from you, two of the prime aims. Anxiety and uncertainty often have the effect of stopping you from doing particular things. They prevent you from analysing matters in a clear and logical manner, and ultimately result in you remaining ensnared and within our grip for longer. One way of achieving anxiety and uncertainty, and thus assert control over you, is to use the manipulation, the prior warning silent treatment. This manipulation can be used by all narcissists, but is often used by upper lesser type A, middle range type A, middle range type B, upper mid range and lower greater. It is our usual fashion when applying a silent treatment to not tell you that this is what is actually happening. For example, if the manipulation that has been selected, either unconsciously where lower or where lesser or mid-range, or consciously where greater or the ultra, is a present silent treatment, we remain in close proximity to you, but we do not speak or respond to you. Some narcissists sit and sulk, others turn away from you, and others again may address everybody else in the room, but never you. You then realise that you are on the receiving end of a silent treatment of some form, but you were not forewarned that this was going to happen. The absent silent treatment is where we absent ourselves from your presence. We may just walk off. We may leave as you expected us to do, but then we stay away for longer than anticipated. Or we may just not turn up when expected, and it is often a short while before you then realise that you are receiving an absent silent treatment. Initially you think that you can't contact us, or we're just busy, and it's only later that you realise that you were receiving an absent silent treatment. The prior warning silent treatment actually relies on telling you that we don't want you to contact us, but it is still not immediately obvious to you that it is a silent treatment that you are being given. When we tell you this, we are asserting control over you directly, and that control thereafter continues because you will then be given a silent treatment. Consider these phrases, for instance. I will be in meetings all day, so don't contact me. I will be sleeping, so don't call me. I will call you when I am ready. There is a poor signal in the area, so I will be incommunicado for most of the trip. I need some space for myself, so please don't get in touch. I will ring you. I have a lot to do today, so don't call or message me. They all seem like legitimate reasons for not being in touch for a period of time, but when uttered by us, what we are really telling you is this. I am controlling you. I am now going to give you a silent treatment. You don't realise that, but that is what is going to happen to continue my control over you, and I wonder how long you will try and cope with it for. The timing of this behaviour is the key to recognising it. First of all, it is highly unlikely that you will be given a prior warning silent treatment during the seduction period. Indeed, although we may use words which make you think that it is a prior warning silent treatment, because it's the seduction period, it actually isn't. There will be a comforting caveat attached to the statement. Accordingly, you will hear something like this. I will be in meetings all day, so don't contact me, but I will pop out and give you a call when I get a chance, because you know how much I miss you. I will be sleeping, so don't call me. I'll call you about 8 o'clock. If you haven't heard from me by then, you ring me, please. There is a poor signal in the area, so I'll be incommunicado for most of the trip. So I will find a landline instead on which you can reach me, and I will let you know what it is as soon as I can. I wish you were coming with me. I hate being apart from you. I have a lot to do today, so don't call or message me until 1 p.m, please, unless of course it is an emergency. But I'll message you when I can because I miss you. Notice how there's no talk of needing space. This is because we don't want space from you during the seduction. We want more of you, but we have other commitments that we must attend to you. And so what we are doing is saying to you, I am not going to be around, but here is when I will be around. And in certain circumstances, you can still contact me if need be, but through a different medium. In effect, we are reluctantly accepting an enforced absence from you, caused perhaps by travel or by work, during the seduction. And invariably, we will often try and rearrange appointments and the like to ensure we spend more time with you because we want to bring you under our control. The wording that you heard there is not a prior warning silent treatment. In fact, these are actually benign manipulations because we are exhibiting a false consideration for you by telling you that we will not be available. It is not done because we care. We cannot. We are narcissists. We have no emotional empathy. But it's done in order to assert control over you. Most of the ways that we assert control over you during the seduction period will be benign. The prior warning silent treatment is doled out during devaluation and when there are specific circumstances. We will do this when we recognize that you have concerns that we have romantic interests in someone else, that we are spending time with someone else, and our motives and theirs are unclear. In essence, when we are triangulating you, although you will probably not realize that this is happening, we will issue the prior warning silent treatment. We do this because it enables us to wield power over you by telling you and controlling you in terms of whether you are permitted to engage with us. It also means you are told there will be a silence, although you won't necessarily know that it is a silent treatment from the beginning. This means that we will assert control over you in that instant, but also to assert control over you so that you don't interrupt whatever else you are doing and thus interrupt our control over somebody else. This will cause you to wonder whether this period of absence is actually genuine and will lead to the creation of your anxiety. Because you're in devaluation, you are now starting to wonder, are we seeing other people? Are we cheating? There may have been evidence that supports that. You generally feel less secure about the relationship, and therefore you start to query whether we are actually non-contactable. You need to know, and your risen emotional thinking starts to corrupt that empathic trait of truth-seeking once again. Accordingly, when you know that we are apparently uncontactable, you are likely to then wonder who we are with and what we are doing. This may lead to you feeling anxious. This actually provides us with thought fuel, even though we do not witness it, because we know how you'll be feeling. We know or envisage how you are feeling based on previous experience that you'll be toying with messaging us to see if your message has actually been received, i.e. the first one that you sent to us. You'll be toying with messaging us to see if we actually read your message. You want to check. You want to ring our mobile to see if it does actually ring or not. You want to ring from a withheld number to see if we answer, and if you can discern any background noises to check if we are doing what we said we were doing. You check our social media profile to see if there have been any updates which contradict when we are supposedly not able to be contacted. You are left in an invidious position. You are torn between wanting to get rid of the anxiety and the uncertainty and find out what is really going on. But then you face the risk that you get it wrong, and it was actually a genuine departure, and then you upset us. Ever the empath, you are caught between trying to be considerate to us, but fighting that desire to find out the truth because you have suspicions about our behaviour. You fear that we have an interest in someone else, and that we are actually spending time with them. And therefore, if you don't do something, this chime is then unchallenged, and this other person may well then get a foothold. The other person may not know about you, but if you get in touch with us and make yourself known, then you are laying down a marker to the other person and possibly warning them away from us. You will also find evidence of us having lied, which you will then want to use against us. At this stage, you will have no desire to be rid of us. On the contrary, the devaluation is such that you are still wanting things to work out. You are trying to figure out why you're being treated the way that you are. And you want to return to the golden period again, but you cannot stand this uncertainty that is being created. You wish you could make a decision, but what if we have actually told the truth and you interrupt us in a meeting? We will then be furious with you, and we will hold it against you in the future. Naturally, we will do so. You are providing us with ammunition. But then again, if we are with someone else and we perhaps know that you suspect you do nothing about it, we may then think that you don't care and that you don't want to fight to keep us. Add to this your own emotional thinking. It's quite remarkable the effect uncertainty and anxiety can have on someone who is being made to feel steadily more and more secure by our manipulations. By giving you this prior warning silent treatment, we are controlling you, but we are also causing considerable difficulties for you because we are causing you to be uncertain as to what actually is going on, whether you should take action to protect yourself or refrain from doing so for fear of causing further problems with us. It is an unsettling position to be placed in, and the use of the prior warning silent treatment is utilized by our narcissism specifically to capitalize upon this. Accordingly, where you receive such messages in the silent period during your devaluation, you can now understand this is a prior warning silent treatment, and because you're dealing with a narcissist, it's highly likely that it is a lie and that you are being told to stay quiet so we can assert control over you, and we are actually up to something which is not the thing that we pretended that we were doing. Accordingly, in those circumstances, you will be justified in getting in touch with us. Understand, of course, that will threaten our control, but at least you will then find more information which confirms that the individual you're with is continuing to lie to you, and that may just bolster your resolve to get yourself over the line to realise I'm dealing with a narcissist, and therefore it is time for me to get out and stay out. And this is the manipulation that is the prior warning silent treatment. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.